Zelensky as they meet for key peace talks today. Let's listen in.
I think they both got it. Gotta make a deal, gotta get it done. Too many people dying, and I think both presidents want to make a deal. We believe they're gonna win.
ABC, welcome in. How are you?
Depends.
Will this war
I
end?
do believe that we have the makings of a deal. It's good for Ukraine, it's good for everybody. It's very important. There's nothing more important, in my book. Instead of 8 wars, and this is the most difficult one, so it would be in the middle of the pack. This is the most difficult one, but we're going to get it done. We're going to have a great meeting today. This gentleman has worked very hard. He's very brave, and his people are very brave. And what they've gone through.
Good evening, good evening, good evening,
Very
Chris.
rarely as a nation ever had to go through this. So we're gonna have a
What's the
great meeting
secret?
today, I think, and
What is the
I'm
secret?
also calling President
Barbara, hello.
back after the meeting.
What is the secret of this? What was the
Continue
secret?
negotiations. Pretty complex, but not that complex. I don't have deadlines. I have, you know what my deadline is? Getting the war ended. You don't have
You
deadlines.
gotta love Trump, huh?
Depends what the security agreement is. A dumb question. Nobody even knows what the security agreement is going to say. But there will be a security agreement. It'll be a strong agreement. And the
Strong
European
agreement.
nations are very much involved in that. They'll be very much involved in protection, etc. But the European nations have been really great. They're very much in line with this meeting and getting a deal done. They're terrific people. I think you do say that. There's nobody there.
Bring everybody up to date today here at Mar-a-Lago. But Trump had a 2.5 hour conversation with Putin. Very confident this war will end.
They all want to get it done, and they've been very supportive, I think.
Thank you for this meeting. Yesterday, I heard President our teams, they do what they can. And I think that during last month, they moved forward with negotiations and actually taking responsibility for state in charge. And they
Yeah, after this meeting today, we're gonna listen in. The questions came in, and Trump says, you know, what Zelensky didn't know is they had a conversation. Trump had a conversation for almost 2.5 hours with Putin. Very, very confident that he's going to end this war, be the 9th war, and peace.
They worked on different documents. I hope that all these documents can bring peace as quick as possible. And I agree with the President that for the European story, yes, and the President is contact with them and maybe will contact with them.
We'll get along today.
Today.
Mustang, how are you?
Sorry?
What made you want to come here to Mar-a-Lago to be president today?
What, yeah, what?
Why?
So, yeah, it worked on our teams. They worked on getting voice back. Then they worked on prosperity and security. And 20 voice plan is very important we have to discuss. And sequencing. It's very important our teams talk about strategy.
There's your president right there, huh? In charge. Continue to make peace.
Discuss this strategy.
Mr. President, are you giving any territorial concessions?
We will speak about 20 points plan. They are in 20 points plan. 90%, by the way, was done by our 2 teams. I think they made a great job, great work, and yes, we will discuss these points also.
And there are great economic benefits for Ukraine also, because you know there's a lot of rebuilding to do. There's a lot of wealth to be had, and they have great wealth. Potentially, they have great wealth. They want to get started, but there's a great economic benefit for Ukraine in what we're talking about.
President Trump.
This is a president, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Here's a president who's definitely in charge, making phone calls, trying.
I can say that I believe
With
Ukraine-
the previous administration, got us into a big mess.
And I don't say that
Longest war since World War II.
Don't say that negatively. But I think, he hasn't told me that, but there have been some explosions in various parts of Russia, and it looks to me like, I don't know, I don't think it came from the Congo. I don't think it came from the United States of America. It possibly came from Ukraine, but I haven't asked that question. Maybe I won't bother asking. They're fighting a war, and we'll see what happens. But I believe
Somebody says I love Trump. Who else loves Trump
we have
in
two
here?
willing
Who
parties.
else?
We have two willing countries. They want to see it end. Look, the people of Ukraine want it to end, and the people of Russia want it to
Too
end.
many
and the
people are
two leaders
dying.
want it to end.
Mr. President, economic benefits for Ukraine.
Who else loves Trump in here?
Frozen Russian assets. Do you believe that should go to Ukraine to help rebuild or go back to Russia? And
None of that's been determined, but it'll go. It's going to go very quickly.
Love
I think
my
we're
president.
we're in final stages of talking, and we're going to see. Otherwise, it's going to go on for a long time. It'll either end, or it's going to go on for a long time, and millions of additional people are going to be killed. Millions. And nobody wants that.
Absolutely, David. Absolutely. Welcome in, everybody. Once again, Trump is trying. What was the secret?
I just think we can do, I think we can move very rapidly. We've spoken, I know you had dinner with Steve Witkoff and Jared have done a fantastic job. And everybody has. Marco's been incredible. The whole group has been, our group has been incredible. And Ukraine appreciates it, and Russia appreciates it. They both want to see it end, and we're going to get it ended. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you, I think, at the end, but I do think we'll call Europe also. We're going to speak to the European leaders. Thank you very much.
All right, you are now watching President Donald Trump introducing Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at President Trump's private club and residence in Palm
Once
Beach,
again,
Florida,
even on a
Mar-a-Lago.
Sunday after
This is,
Christmas,
of
welcome
course,
in
for
everybody.
those high
As Trump is
We've helped
continuing
fiercely protect the wild kingdom
to end the war.
just
Talk
as
to
we helped
Putin today.
you.
What president has Zelensky over to Mar-a-Lago? Hey, we got to end the war. We got to end it. Enough's enough. No more money. End the war. Should never been in it. The worst administration got us into the 4 years of this. 4 years. There are some questions today. I want to bring.
Local matters. Who you hire matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm.
Anybody else on this list?
Had a nice dinner.
It's very conducive to deals. Are you okay? Is everyone fine? Margo, if you would, I think you could sit outside and have some food. Would you like to have some food, or do you consider that a bribe? And therefore you cannot write honestly, or therefore you have to write a bad story. Okay, because if you'd like, would you like something to eat at this time? Yes or no? You can speak. Yes? Okay. Margo, take him outside, tell me something.
Take him outside. Give him something to eat.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
You gotta love it. He's like a mob boss, huh?
Thank you, guys.
You gotta love this president, huh? Like a mob boss. Take him outside. You want something to eat? Come eat. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, all joking aside, we should never. 4 years. Can you imagine 4 years of this?
Well, thank you very much. We had
4 years of so many people dying on both sides of a committee run by Elizabeth Warren, Barack Obama. Biden had no clue what that. This is hard. Trump had Putin right where he wanted him. They cheated the election. This would never be happening. Trump says, we just want to end it. There's just too many people dying. Who loves Trump in here, huh? I mean, you think Biden would be doing this after Christmas? You think Biden would have him? Having to sit down at dinner, got him relaxed on the phone with Putin. What are you doing, Putin? What are you doing? We went to Alaska. What's going on since then? Let's go. Let's go. Let's end the war. There's a president who's trying, ladies and gentlemen. Right, Barb? There's a president. He's not giving up. He doesn't have to. We have nothing to gain. We have nothing to gain. Hello, Ozzy Crosby. We had Russia right where we wanted them at. We have nothing to gain on this. But once again, we have a president who's ready to end the ninth war. And the secret was, Zelensky didn't know. He uses the right words. He's not knocking Putin. He uses every correct way. Keep your friends close, your enemies even closer with Putin. And he's telling Putin, hey, come on, end it. You want to make money? Russia needs us. Let's listen in. Here's a president who's confident, ladies and gentlemen. Here's a president who's very confident. And he's telling this man, hey, enough's enough. You have to give a little bit. There's too many people in Ukraine. We got a perfect team. Let us run it. We know what we're doing. Bring your security in and let's end this war. Don't worry about Putin. I got Putin. You just worry about give up a little bit. Just give a little bit. Let's end this craziness, war. That's what our president, that's what one of the best presidents in our lifetime does.
Terrific meeting. We discussed a lot of things. As you know, I had an excellent phone call with President Putin that lasted for over 2 hours.
2
We
hours.
discussed a lot of points.
There we go.
And I do think we're getting a lot closer, maybe very close. The president and I just spoke to the European leaders. They were President Emmanuel Macron of France, President Alexander Stubb of the Republic of Finland, President Carol.
What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think this is the best president in our lifetime? Right here. Looks so good, so healthy, so confident. A leader, not a follower. Great people wrapped around him. Marco Rubio. Great vice president. Great team. You think this war will end? I have a feeling this war is going to end very, very soon. Look at him. Very confident. Having dinner. Got him relaxed. On the phone with Putin. All this. Right after Christmas. What other president would be doing this? Huh? Not to mention keeping our borders safe. And also working on a healthcare savings, tax rebates coming in the first, more money in our pocket, big write-offs on tax season coming up. And by the way, there's a lot of talks out there that Trump's taking away people's food stamps. False. A lot of rumors out there that Trump's taking away people's food stamps on the first. No, not true. He's taking away people's Medicaid. Not true. Taking away people's Medicare. Not true. Not at all. He's working on a better health care. Obamacare is bankrupting us. And he's trying to reform it. And the Democrats had a whole 42 days on a shutdown and did absolutely nothing to help the American people. In fact, people lost food stamps. It's the exact opposite. Trump is trying to help all Americans. Huge tax breaks coming up. Huge.
Noraki of the Republic of Poland, Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store of the Kingdom of Norway, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of
Italy.
the Italian Republic,
That's right.
Prime Minister Keir
Italians got your
Starmer,
back, Trump.
the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland, Chancellor Friedrich Merz, the Federal Republic of Germany, Secretary General Mark Rutte, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, President Ursula von der Leyen of the European Commission. We spoke to all of those great leaders. They're all great leaders.
Damn right, Darren.
And, we had a
MAGA
great
forever.
talk with them after we were completed. We thought it was appropriate to speak with them. And our meeting was excellent. We covered, somebody would say 95%. I don't know what percent, but we have made a lot of progress on ending that war.
We need
which
you,
is really
Trump. We need you, Trump.
certainly
Help
the
us.
most deadly war since World War II, probably the biggest war since World War II.
Absolutely.
And I want to thank Steve Woodcoff, who's here, and I'd like to thank Jared, who's here someplace. Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Steve. What a great job you've done.
He knows.
Jared Kushner,
He
Steve
knows.
Woodcoff, and Marco Rubio.
Thank you
is
for the
here.
donation.
Thank you, Marco.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
And Pete Hegseth is here. Those two people are doing an unbelievable job, and the four people on this one are doing. I don't think anybody could do.
Slazinski knows. He knows Biden was the worst president. He knows he got him in this mess. You know how many people lost their lives in Ukraine and Russia because of an administration that was run by Otto Penn and different characters like Barack Obama, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Nancy Pelosi. Wasn't even run by a president. Here's a president who's confident, once again, cleaning up a mess. And by the way, let me just remind everybody, it hasn't been a full year Trump is president. For those who are putting donations, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We'll see if it gets done, but it's very close. Certainly, nobody would have a chance of getting it to where it is right now. Nobody would have thought that was possible. So I just want to say we've done very well. We've had discussions on just about every subject.
Look how confident
and
his
that
face
includes
looks.
with President Putin before. And we went into great detail, and we likewise went into great detail today. And it was an honor to have you at Mar-a-Lago and have lunch. I hope you enjoyed the food. Your people enjoyed the food, I can tell you that. You're big, strong people. Your general over there looks like central casting. I want to also, by the way, speaking of generals, we have a great general. General Raising Cane, who's here someplace.
Raising Cane.
General
Where you at,
Patrick,
Raising
which
Cane?
is great. So, Mr. President, maybe you want to say a few words, and then we'll speak over the next couple of weeks. We'll speak probably quite a bit, but we'll speak tomorrow. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Dear colleagues, first of all, I would like to thank President Trump for a great meeting at this amazing place in his home in Mar-a-Lago. And we had a really great discussions on all the topics, and we appreciate the progress that was made by
A great meeting. Great meeting. Great meeting. Huh? Ace, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Here's a president who's confident, keeping our nation safe. You know, ladies and gentlemen, when the United States does well, the whole country does well. Mindspeak, how are you? Thank you. Merry Christmas. If he's doing a good job on the economy and opened so many jobs, why would people have to be on food stamps? And I think he's leaning to Putin demand. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. You know, I just want to talk. We're going to go back to this because there's some channels on YouTube, and you know, a lot of Democrats, and I hear them coming out and saying we're in trouble, scaring people. They're going to lose their food stamps. And look, first of all, as far as food stamps, it's temporary anyhow. There's some people out there, you know, who really need it, you know, and he never. You know, they just make up lies. Oh, January 1st, taking away SNAP benefit. I think it's called SNAP benefit. Take away SNAP benefits. People are going to lose their Medicaid. No, in fact, he's working on a savings reform healthcare, because we all know Obama was shit. It was horrible. And they had a shutdown for 42 days, and Chuck Schumer did absolutely one thing to help reform. They could have called it Obamacare. They could have helped out. All those tax credits because of the Democrats. Republicans had nothing to do with it. Trump had nothing to do with it. So 42 days, those people, when they closed down, couldn't get certain benefits like SNAP benefits in some states. But once again, Trump, he said, look, I'm very confident. We're going to have prescription, low cost prescription. That's more money in seniors' pockets and all of our pockets. We got borders. Nobody's coming over anymore. And he hasn't been president for 1 year. Gas prices, the lowest. Come on. Even in the West Coast, we have gas prices now here where I'm at in Vegas. They're under $3. All because of Biden wanted to go electric. We reopened the pipelines. We got oil prices in check. Food prices are coming down. He's working. He acknowledged we got to do better on beef. We have a president who knows, he cares. Trying to get new home buyers, younger people in the homes, working each and every day. And here he's got President Zelensky and Mar-a-Lago working again on the phone with Putin, having him over, making all these calls. He's the last person to go to sleep, first person to get up. Trump, continue to work for us, to keep our nation safe, to hand that torch to the future Republican president. The Democrats have lost their mind, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just new to the channel, like and subscribe. Do you understand that the Democrats have a 0% chance to win in the midterms? They don't care about Americans. There's a lot of Democrats out there who are really worried. And I would be too about your party, because it's not even a party anymore. The party went so far left, it's out of control. They don't care. If a Democrat wins in 28, all it's going to do is have more problems, more wars, more illegals coming over. We have so much problems here on our home ground in the United States of America to worry about people from Venezuela, people dumping out of prisons. And once again, here he is, who ended 8 wars, this will be 9 wars. This would have never happened. It's a shame. I don't think people realize when everybody's opening up their Christmas gifts and celebrating the holidays and this, that, whatever, there's so many people dying each and every day on Ukraine and Russia's side.
Hey, baby. That's pasta basura. Pasta basura.
Thank you.
So this is spicy. Careful.
American and Ukrainian teams in these recent weeks. Special thanks to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and thank you to for their engagement and full commitment, and also to our team, and first of all to Rustem Umerman, General Gnatov, and to all our teams. And we discussed all the aspects of the peace framework, which includes, and we have great achievements, 20-point peace plan, 90% agreed, and US-Ukraine security guarantees 100% agreed. US, Europe, Ukraine security guarantees almost agreed. Military dimension 100% agreed. Prosperity plan being finalized, and we also discussed the sequence of the following actions. And we agree that security guarantees is the key milestone in achieving lasting peace, and our teams will continue working on all aspects. We also had a joint productive call with European leaders, like President Trump said already, and a lot of leaders, including NATO and the EU. And we agreed that our teams will meet in upcoming weeks to finalize all discussed matters. And we agreed with President Trump that he will host us, and maybe in Washington, European leaders and Ukrainian delegation, yes, in January. And Ukraine is ready for peace. And once again, would like to thank President Trump for a warm welcome and substantial
Thank you,
discussion.
Trump.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Trump.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Any questions, please?
The U.S. Ukraine security guarantees. What number are we at right now?
Well, I think you can say 95%, but I don't like to say percentages. I just think we're doing very well. We could be very close. There are 1 or 2 very thorny issues, very tough issues, but I think we're doing very well. We made a lot of progress today, but really we've made it over the last month. This is not a one-day process.
Exactly.
It's very complicated stuff, but I think when the president says 95, I think, could be close to 95%. Yeah, please, behind you.
Mr. President, have you agreed on the so-called free trade zone on Donbass? How to separate the sites? How to make the separation line? Who will be responsible?
The word agreed is too strong. I would say not agreed, but we're getting closer to an agreement on that, and that's a big issue. Certainly, that's one of the big issues, and I think we're closer than we're probably It's unresolved, but it's getting a lot closer. That's a very tough issue, but one that I think will get resolved. Yeah, please.
We are receiving some mixed signals coming from Moscow, even after you spoke with President Putin. Can you assure us that you have received written or any formal response from them.
Well, what was the issue? You have to tell me. What did they say?
So they are telling that Ukraine has to give up Donbass. Just very recent statement coming out.
Well, that's what they've been asking for, and there's a dispute about that. So they're going to have to iron that out. That's an issue they have to iron out. But I think it's moving in the right direction.
If they reject or delay the solution or peace agreement that you try to achieve,
If something doesn't happen, you mean if something doesn't happen? Yeah, go ahead.
May I ask?
No, go ahead. You're going to finish your
would there
question.
be any step that the United States be prepared?
Well, we'll see. Look, we'll see. But I don't want to talk about that because I think we're getting pretty close. Yes, please.
May I ask the President of Ukraine
Please.
about territorial question? Mr. President, what is your take on Donbas status? Are you prepared to see it as a free economic or demilitarized zone?
No, we spoke about 20 points planned, and I'm happy that really our teams very close to results. And I agree with President Trump that our teams worked not one day and not one week, more than 1 month, beginning from Geneva, then 2 meetings in Miami, then we had Berlin, and now we have.
Mind Speak says, thank you, by the way.
You know our position, so it's. We have to respect our law and order.
Only way to end the war is for Ukraine to give Russia their land. What you agreed to give some of our land to end the war to other countries. Mindspeak, thank you so much for your donation. Appreciate you. Thank you. Great comment, actually. Great comment.
Or people who respect the territory which we control. And of course, our attitude is very clear. That's why President Trump said this is a very tough question. And of course, we have with Russians different positions on it.
And have you discussed referendum about?
When we speak about referendum, we spoke that it's one of the key. We can have referendum on any kind of points of this plan. I said that we can use referendum like for the plan, or we cannot use referendum. It's one of the key. We can use, this possibility of Parliament to vote according to the law or to have referendum. Doesn't matter. This referendum, if the plan will be very difficult for our society, very difficult, of course our society has to choose and has to vote. Because it's their land, the land not of one person, it's the land of our nation for a lot of generations.
They'll probably have to get their plan approved by Parliament or by referendum of the people. You would think that they want, I know they had a poll that it's 91% in favor of ending this war, so they want to end it. Like
LGBT for Trump,
Russia
Merry
wants it ended,
Christmas.
everybody wants
Good to
it
see you,
ended.
my
So,
friend.
and we want it ended. I want it ended because I don't want to see so many people dying. We're losing massive numbers of people, the biggest by far since World War II. So we want to see it ended, absolutely.
President
Yes.
Trump, you said at the top that you plan to speak again tomorrow. Is that correct?
I might. It depends on what happens tomorrow. If there's an additional something to add, otherwise there's no reason to. We're in the process. Jared and Steve are working very hard to get something done, and if there's something that comes up, I'd speak, but otherwise I don't think there's any reason to.
Great answer.
In your mind, sir, what are the thorniest issues still unresolved after the?
Well, I think the land you're talking about, some of that land has been taken. Some of that land is
Paul, welcome in.
maybe up for grabs, but it may be taken over the next period of a number of months. And you're better off making a deal now. Look, let me tell you, they have been very brave. They fought very hard and continue to fight very hard and do tremendous damage. But Russia would like to see it end, and Ukraine would like to see it. And I think it's time to end. And a lot of very brave people, a lot of people that are dead right now, unfortunately, because I've said, and nobody's disputed it, that if the election weren't rigged and stolen, 2020, you wouldn't have had this war.
He knows. This man knows. He knows that Biden committee was the worst we ever seen. What a shame. It was embarrassing administration we had. He knows. This man knows. And these poor people on both sides are losing their lives.
Never happened, and it didn't happen for 4 years. Never was even thought to happen. And I spoke with President Putin. I got along with him very well, despite the Russia hoax, which was a total hoax. He used to say, "What is going on over there?" But it was a total hoax, as he knew and as I.
And who did the hoax, ladies and gentlemen? A woman named Hillary Clinton. Hoax. Russia, Russia, Russia. Hoax. That's why he lost. This is why people are losing their lives because of that.
But I spoke to him and would talk about Ukraine. I've said it before. It was the apple of his eye, but he wasn't going to do anything about it. He didn't do anything about it until I was gone, and then a lot of really bad statements were made by people, by a lot of people, I guess. but
Dizzy,
by,
welcome in.
a certain president we had who was a disaster.
Mr.
Yes.
President, do you anticipate going to Ukraine if you can get to an agreement? And I know
I
you
have no
said
problem
earlier,
with doing it. You know, I have no problem with doing it. We don't anticipate it. Would like to get the deal done. And
Hey, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. Thank you for the membership. Once again, all memberships, all donations, we help out the homeless people here in Las Vegas. That's what Americans do.
not necessarily have to go. I've offered to go and speak to their parliament. And, you know, if that would help, I don't know if that would help. I think it would probably help, but I don't even know if that's...
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So I'm not sure that it would be really necessary, but if it would help save 25,000 lives a month or whatever it may be, I would certainly be willing to do that. Yeah, please.
A hot sub you dip into hot au jus? Firefighter approved.
Question was, would Trump
When I started
go
walking
to
out with
Ukraine?
goggle glasses,
Yes,
I had no
he
idea
would.
what I
To
was
save
doing.
people.
But GoDaddy
That's a
Aero
leader,
does,
ladies and
using
gentlemen.
AI to build a logo,
We gotta pay some bills
website,
here.
and social content, so I can let the
We'll get back
world
to
know
Trump
if
here.
goggles
Welcome in,
ain't
everybody. Hope
goggles,
everybody had a great
they
Christmas.
don't belong on your
President Trump
goggles.
once again on the phone with Putin. Zelensky
You
had
ever
him
get a
at
quote that
Mar-a-Lago.
just makes you laugh
What a
because
present! What
otherwise
a
you cry?
best presents in our
18
lifetime.
grand for the
Working
roof?
each and every hour.
1 month after
Doesn't sleep
replacing
much.
our
Just
entire
works.
HVAC system.
No, behind you. Where are you from?
From Ukraine.
Good, I had a feeling.
Public broadcaster.
Good.
A reporter from Ukraine.
Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. Have you discussed this question?
On what?
Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant.
Yeah, we discussed that at length today. As you know, it's in pretty good shape. It can start up immediately, almost immediately. And it's one of the things I discussed with President Putin. And they were talking about the nuclear plant. It's probably the biggest in the world, just about the biggest anywhere in the world. Can you believe that? And President Putin's actually working with Ukraine on getting it open. He's been very good in that sense. He wants to see that open. And he hasn't hit it with missiles, hasn't hit it with anything. It's a big danger to do that for everybody. But they're working together.
Yes,
to try and
President
get it
Trump
it can-
fixing Biden's
it can open
wars.
very quickly.
Exactly.
It's in pretty good shape. And the people there have been there for years. The people there running it. You know, there are 5,000 people in that plant. Can you believe it? I learned that today. 5,000 people. It's the biggest plant of its kind in the world.
Ah,
And,
wow.
they're working together to get it open.
I never knew
They
that.
could maybe get it open quickly. That's a big step when he's not bombing that plant. It's a big step.
Mr. President.
In the readout from Moscow, they talked about the creation of some working groups. That
Yes.
would be set. Can you tell us about what those working groups
Sure.
would entail? And also, if you wouldn't mind, what is the message that you will give to Putin when you speak to him after your meeting?
So the working group is going to be composed of Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, General Raisin Kane, Marco Rubio, and a few other people that we're going to be putting onto it. I think Pete Hegseth should be in that working group. He knows the territory very well. He's been fantastic at what he's doing. And they may add one or two people. And likewise, Ukraine's going to have some very good people that were at lunch today that enjoyed the lunch today a lot, more than they thought, right? But do you want to say who may be on your working group?
Yeah, we now, as I said, that we work with Steven Gerrard. We worked our Rustem Umerov and also Deputy Minister Kislitz and also General NATO, and they will continue work in this group. And of course, if we will go further, and I hope that really we will have decisions in January, as I said, about all these documents, 6 documents, and of course, we will continue work on this, so they know what to do. Yes.
And that working group, by the way, importantly, will also then be working with Russia. Okay? Because to work with ourselves doesn't really solve much of a problem. So they'll be working with Russia. Yeah, please.
President, you said this morning you weren't a deadline guy. How long do you think it'll take to get this last little bit, as you say, finished? What are we talking
So
about?
if it went really well, maybe a few weeks, and if it went poorly longer, and if it went really poorly, it's not going to happen. That would be a shame. There's that chance also. It's possible it doesn't happen. But, in a few weeks we will know one way or the other, I think. But if it went really well, but it could also go poorly. I mean, we could have something where one item that you're not thinking about is a big item, breaks it up. Look, it's been a very difficult negotiation, very detailed. It's funny, I settled 8 wars. Some were going on for 35 years. And we got them settled in a couple of days. Some of them, one was going on for 37 years. I settled it in 1 day. But this is a very complex one.
Richard, thank you for being here tonight.
No, I think we'll get it done. I don't want to say when, but I think we're going to get it done. Yes, Ben.
President, you in the past have suggested a trilateral meeting between both President Putin and Zelensky. Is
Right.
that something that is also on the docket?
I see that happening, sure, at the right time. I saw a very interesting President Putin today. I mean, he wants to see it happen. He wants to see it. He told me very strongly. I believe him. Don't forget, we went through the Russia hoax together. And he'd call me, I'd call him, I'd say, can you believe the stuff that they're making up? And it turned out we were right. They made it all up. And despite that, we didn't get into wars or we didn't get into problems, but we weren't able to trade very much or any of that, which was a shame because, a lot of success could have been had by trading with Russia. They have great land, great minerals and other things, and we have things that they want very badly. But the Russia hoax, which was a terrible, made-up, fictional thing by
God bless the
Crooked
ICE
Hillary
agents.
and
Thank you
by
for putting that in
Adam
the
Shifty
comments.
Schiff and bad people, sick people. They made it up. It was all a made-up hoax. But it kept us really from dealing with Russia, kept Russia dealing, from dealing with us. So, but despite that, we got along. And I don't know, I think we're going to get there. I know him very well. I think we're going to get there.
Did you discuss any time, location, meeting place?
Yeah, we're discussing a lot of things. Look, I was on the phone with him for almost, I guess, 2.5 hours. They're just telling me now. It's a long time. We discussed a lot of things. We didn't talk about the weather. We weren't talking about
2.5 hours on the phone with Putin, ladies and gentlemen, is a big deal. Like he says, like the president says, they're not talking about the weather, not talking about the football game. They're talking about peace and ending a war. 4 years. Can you believe it's been 4 years? 4 years of a mess. A mess for Ukraine and Russia. A mess for us under Biden committee. People losing their homes. People struggling, homeless because of a worse administration. I hope that we'll never, ever see again. That wasn't even run by a president. It was run by Barack Obama and a bunch of crazy
what a beautiful day it is in Palm Beach, Florida. Yes.
President Zelensky mentioned maybe a meeting with European leaders back in Washington. Would that be in the next few weeks?
Well, in Washington or someplace, yeah. These leaders that I just read, these are great people. They've spent a lot of money on helping Ukraine. And look, they're doing it for themselves also, meaning their country, because Ukraine's a very important country for them in particular. For us, it's very important. To me, it's their lives. We're thousands and thousands of miles. We're protected by a thing called the Atlantic Ocean and lots of other places, to be honest. And they're not, they're right there. but we're working together with them as we should be. But I'm doing it to save lives. You know, we're not spending any money. Biden gave $350 billion away.
Wow.
And the president was nice enough to give us a contract to take out rare earth and things. So we'll see how that all works out. We have a contract, but we appreciated that. He was very good. But we'll see how that works out. But if you think about it, we're going to have. I really believe we're probably, Mr. President, by far closer than ever before with both parties. We had some times when he was close and President Putin wasn't. Then when President Putin was close and he wasn't, you saw that in the White House. But I think they both want to see it happen.
Mr. President, in your conversation with...
You're saying that you've said multiple times that you want to stop the killing, and nearly 100 American citizens died in Ukraine on the battlefield. What's your message to their families whose loved ones died fighting?
Well, look, I mean, the message is so obvious. It's what a shame. They died in a foreign country, and some are celebrated people. They're very celebrated, but it's so sad that a thing like that would happen. Yes, ma'am.
President Trump, obviously security is a major issue for the Ukrainians.
Right.
Did you offer any promises, any assurances today?
Well, I did. We want to work with Europe, and Europe is going to take over a big part of it, as you can imagine. You know, they're right there, but we're going to help Europe 100%, like they'd help us. Yes, ma'am. You were going to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, when you
Who are you with?
Andrea Shalal with Reuters.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so in your conversation with President Putin, did you discuss
I love our president.
Russia will have for any kind of reconstruction of Ukraine?
He's fighting for all of us, huh?
I did.
And
They're going to be helping. Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. It sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding, including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices. So a lot of good things came out of that call today. But they were in the works for 2 weeks with Steve and with Jared and Marco and everybody.
did Russia agree, or did Putin agree to a ceasefire to allow a referendum to take
Not a ceasefire, and that's one of the points that we're working on right now. No, not a ceasefire. He feels that, look, you know, they're fighting and to stop, and then if they have to start again, which is a possibility, he doesn't want to be in that position. I understand that position. The president feels strongly about that or something, but I think we're finding ways that we can get around that. But I understand President Putin from that standpoint. You know, you have to understand the other side. And, you know, I'm on the side of peace. I'm on the side of stopping the war. So, but I think that's a problem that's going to get solved. Yeah.
Would people who live outside of Ukrainians who fled during the war be allowed to participate in the referendum?
What do you mean, people where live?
The people that left.
We have, you know, if we speak about the people who are abroad or not on the territory of Ukraine, you mean that in Poland, in Germany, we have millions of people. Yeah, they have a referendum. It's the same of elections. The same way how people come and vote, they have rights for this, and of course they have to come. That's why if we will come to referendum, yes, if we will come to such decision, people need infrastructure for this, and it's not simple. And that's why we spoke about it. It can't be in one day, very quickly. It's difficult because we need infrastructure. When you have millions of people, you have to build it in Europe, mostly in Europe for today.
President Trump, I know you sound an optimistic note here, but what happens in a few weeks if things sputter? What are you prepared to do?
They keep fighting, and they keep dying. No good. But if things don't happen, they keep fighting, and they keep dying. And we don't want that to happen. He doesn't want it to happen. President Putin doesn't want it to happen either. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Great.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And thanks for lunch.
I don't know.
What do you guys think in the chat? Great president, amazing president, sharp, playing chess. You know, even after Christmas, he's continuing to work on peace. Peace through strength. Taking questions. You know, he is like most of us on here. Frank, how are you? And he's our voice. You know, he asked these reporters, where are you from? Where are you from? You know? And I got to tell you, 2.5 hour conversation with Putin means a lot. Let's see. Let's see what happens with Putin. What do you guys think? Think Putin will come around? Think this will be the 9th war in under a year that President Trump will end? Yes or no? Yes or no? But you know what? We have a president is trying. A couple no's. We have a president who's trying. 3 days after Christmas, open up a visit on the phone with Putin. Do you think the Democrats will be doing this? You really think? You know what the Democrats will be doing after Christmas? Spending more of our tax-paying money. They would be sending billions of dollars. Was it 350 billions President Trump just said? They would be spending money to other countries, helping the other countries out, and forgetting about the American people. Forcing electric cars. There's nothing wrong with electric cars. I have a plug-in electric. Biden, by the way, wanted to get rid of Christmas. Imagine that. Get rid of Merry Christmas. Him and Kamala. That's what the Democrats do. They start wars. They start open borders. Hoax and lies and lies. 99.9% of lies. And for those who are asking about Epstein files, once again, they threw Bill Clinton photos all over the internet, which Trump says, whoa, 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 whoa. Me and President Clinton might have disagreed on a lot of things. And, you know, what they're doing to Bill Clinton. Trump stuck up for him. We don't have any of that information. Democrats had plenty of time to open up the Epstein files, never did anything. Nothing at all. I can't name of one thing that the previous administration has done. They were trying to pass a bill, Build Back Better, and stop student loans. And a senator, actually one decent Democrat, stepped up, Joe Manchin, and stopped it. There was no money in there for the American people. We have a big, beautiful bill that's plenty of money for the American people. All kinds of tax breaks. Whether you have a hybrid, electric car, American-made car. Big dividends, big tax breaks for our military. By the way, God bless our military and our veterans that might be on here tonight who fought for our beautiful country. Trying to make healthcare better. Tax breaks. Prescription drugs. Prescription drugs, lower them 75%. That's more money in our pocket in the 26th year. Trying to lower Medicare, not Medicaid, but Medicare to an age of 55. This is a man who cares about the middle class, he cares about Americans, not illegals. And this man here knows. He knows. He's probably saying, my goodness, where was he at 4 years ago? What the hell kind of president was running this United States? I can tell you where they were. Corrupted. Worse than the mob. All they cared about was themselves. Shutting down the nation. People couldn't work, couldn't go to church. Socialism was what they were trying to do. And now they didn't expect Trump to win. They're shocked. And that's why, I mean, look, and think about this. You know what I want done, ladies and gentlemen? I hope that we'll find out who was really behind the assassination attempt on this man. Twice. Now we know we had that one man in Butler, Pennsylvania, but we know there's other people behind it. I think we're going to hear and find out more information on that as well. The Democrats were caught off guard, and they're trying everything they possibly can to somehow remove Donald Trump, and it's not going to happen. They will not win the midterms. They have a 0% chance, and a 0% chance to win the presidency in 28. Zero. I want to go back to Trump and that reporter. That was kind of funny.
If we will come to such decision, people need infrastructure for this, and it's not simple. And that's why we spoke about it. It can't be in one day, very quickly. It's difficult because we need infrastructure. When you have millions of people, you have to build it in Europe, mostly in Europe for today.
Dancing Trump.
You've sent an optimistic note here, but what happens in a few weeks if things sputter?
Uncle Charlie, how are you?
They keep fighting, and they keep dying. No good. But if things don't happen, they keep fighting, and they keep dying. And we don't want that to happen. He doesn't want it to happen. President Putin.
All right, I'm going to open up the chat. I'll read some comments here.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank
And thanks for lunch.
The reporters are saying, thank you for lunch. Giving lunch out to people. You want lunch? Here's lunch. Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind everybody one more time. He hasn't even been president for 1 year, and he's done so much. I said this, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. He's not perfect. He's made a couple mistakes. I'll take a few mistakes over a man and a president who's something that we always wanted as a president. His voice is our voice. A lot of people don't like his language, his body language. That's us. A hardworking American. He's us that we never had. And we had some okay presidents. We had some good presidents, but not like this. And once again, the Democrats are going to do everything in their power to come up with more lies. He doesn't have to do all this. He tried. He went to Alaska. He tried. He could be washing his hands and say, okay. But no. Because he has a heart. And he knows it's not good. Number one, people are losing their lives. Young people in Russia and Ukraine. And number two, it's not good. It's not good for the whole world. And it's been way too long. You heard the president say, since World War II. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. It's been 4 years of a Biden got us into so much. Again, I can't even say one thing that he did good. You know, a lot of people say, well, Jimmy Carter was horrible. Not like this. At least Jimmy Carter cared about the homeless. And, Jimmy Carter just wasn't smart. But this administration was crooks and not smart. And a lot of other things that I can't say. Mindspeak, thank you. You rock. Hey, Sal, what do you think about bringing a white... I forgot. I think we should, Mindspeak. I think we should. Look, at the end of the day, I'd rather have a president who will make a few mistakes, tell off a couple reporters, call out the fake news, make some bad decisions here and there, than what we just had from that previous administration. I'd rather have a president who's trying on a Sunday afternoon, continue to work, one hand calling Putin, one other hand having the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, over, trying to come to a conclusion on how to end the ninth war and making peace. And let me just remind everybody another thing too. We have a short memory on how high gas prices were about a year and a half ago. $6, $7, $8, $9 in California, $6, close to $6 in the West Coast. Gas prices, heating bills were high. But you have people talking about the Epstein files over and over and over. And he's released them. And there's photos floating around with Bill Clinton, former President Bill Clinton. And he says, I think it's a shame. Trump says, it's a shame. He goes, there's no proof. There's no proof that Bill Clinton, he had some photos. Trump's in some photos. There's nothing on any living president was involved in the Epstein files. You want them? They're open. Here they are. Everybody expected Trump's name and doing so much. And we haven't seen anything. You wait till next year comes. Wait till the third quarter. Wait till around March, April, June, summertime. We're probably going to see gas prices even go down more. I think we're going to see interest rates kind of flat out around 5% mortgage. I think it's going to be a little easier for people to get in because we got to have, this is a serious problem. When you have rent nationwide higher than mortgage, we got to get interest rates back down to at least 5%. And first-time home buyers get qualified into a home. Continue with the ICE and cleaning up. I mean, do you know crime here in Las Vegas? I was watching the news the other day. Crime here in Las Vegas is down like almost 40%. Crime all over with, when Trump brought in the National Guards. And of course, you got certain governors out there don't want it. ICE protecting. Those ICE agents are Republicans and Democrats, and people are ambushing them for what? Why would you do that? But see, that's what these Democrat governors and senators do. They say these words, and then you have these bad people out there protesting and doing these horrible things and ambushing ICE agents and stuff. But anyhow, crime is down all over the place because of Trump. Cleaning up the cities and stuff. What's wrong with that? Washington is safe, making it safer so people can walk around. Silver, yeah. It's amazing with silver. Somebody said silver in the chat. It's amazing. So we have a few Trump haters in here. People who just don't like Trump, and that's fine. But for those who do hate him, in the next 10 years, 20 years, there'll be a huge movie on the best president ever. People will be looking back to haters and say, why wasn't I part of that? Why didn't I vote for him? Why didn't I vote 3 times for this man? Wow. And we'll have a future Democrat president in the next 20 years probably. And that all because of Trump. It'll all be straight now. You have to have 2 parties. I don't think you're ever going to see what we just witnessed with Barack Obama, who started this mess. Don't let anybody fool you guys. Barack Obama is the second worst president ever who started this terrible mess with everything, wars and healthcare and cheating, lying. Oh, he was a good salesperson, huh? And look where we're at now. But now we can say, hey, we can put our head on that pillow and worry about our little problems that goes on in our house, and don't have to worry about any of these wars breaking out. No more bad virus. That's a whole nother craziness that we went through. A lot of people have a short memory on that. All right. Somebody said he's not a good leader. Yeah, Barack Obama, the worst.
Uncle Charlie asked you why you have on is a Snuggie. Show people what you got for my daughter in Christmas.
Oh, what do I have on? Somebody asked?
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Charlie?
Uncle Charlie.
Oh, this was a gift from my daughter.
It's very warm.
Very warm, sitting
He
outside.
wanted us to say sluggish. I don't know. Oh, stand up and show it.
Oh, it's I don't know what you call it.
Like a blanket.
Blanket. I don't know what you call things, but shout out to the Eagles. Any Eagles fans on here tonight? They keep winning too. LG, yes. Yes, that's Maribel. I missed some comments. She was asking me. Snuggie. Is that what it's called? Okay. Snuggie. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Yeah, it's very, Uncle Charlie, very warm. I mean, it's a little cold tonight, and I'm feeling perfect. I always feel perfect when our president comes on and speaking, he's always positive. Even during the pandemic, always positive and focused and alert. Makes you feel good, right? Not down, depressed. Yeah, just pull over. Just put it over your head. Bada boom, bada bang. And I go out with this. Supermarkets. I go out with my hat. Anybody else go out with their Trump merchandise? Are you afraid? Is anybody on here afraid to go out? I go out everywhere with my Trump hat and my Eagles gear. I hear you, Dan Davis. Bama's in the house. How are you, Bama? Trump is a con man. No, I disagree. He's a negotiator. He's a businessman. He's for us. So I disagree. A con man. But thank you for your comment. All right, I'm going to read a few more comments here. Thank you so much for joining this live stream. I hope everybody had a good Christmas and you got everything you wanted and much more. Can you believe the end of the year, New Year's Eve? A couple days away. Yeah, I go out with my hat, my shirt. I don't give a shit. I go to all over meetings. Oh, they hate me. They hate me in the meetings. Yeah, I walk right into these meetings with the homeless. They hate me. Mindspeak, thank you so much for sponsoring today's live. '49ers, they look good. They got me tonight, though. They got me for betting. They got me. I had the Bears. Niners look good. That's where the Super Bowl is going to be held. The Democrats don't like Trump hat. They don't like my hat. I don't care. Maribel. He's good, that quarterback, Brock Purdy. He's good. He's good. He's good. Calm, collective. Scary team. Some good football teams at the end here. My hat's not made in China, no. Made in Italy. How's that? How's that for you? It's a great hat. Anything with Trump's name on it is great. Make America great again. Make common sense. That's all this is. People say, well, hey, Sal, why did you vote for Trump? Common sense. Common sense. You know, somebody we never had. Like I said a couple of minutes ago, his voice is our voice. Not fake, not a phony. Anybody have Trump socks? Trump socks, Trump shoes, Trump coins? Grace, happy birthday. Send me a happy birthday, please. Happy birthday, Grace. Is it your birthday? God bless you. Enjoy it. Enjoy the whole year. Trump vodka. Good stuff. Love that vodka from Trump. Trump bear. Now that wasn't nice, was it? Somebody said Trump garbage. Oh, we got some Trump haters in here tonight, huh? Got some Trump haters. How many people, let me ask you this. How many people love the United States of America? See the flag behind me? How many people love... Do you love the United States of America? Huh? USA forever, huh? Trump saved... Ladies and gentlemen, Trump saved the United States. Saved it. Saved us. Only imagine. Thank you for the donation. Only imagine, God forbid, if Kamala would have won. It wouldn't be the United States of America anymore. Kids would get suspended in school for not pledging allegiance to the flag. We would have so many more people here illegal. We'd have had more murders, and that's another thing that Trump is also working on, taking out more of those boats in Venezuela, bringing over poison, stopping it. We don't want it here in the United States. We don't want it we don't want it anywhere. But the Democrats are saying, oh, it was a fishing boat. People were getting suntans, having a party out in the boat. That's all they have. God bless the United States of America, huh? If you're a true patriot, put USA in the chat, huh? USA. God bless. Old glory. What a shit. I mean, if you think back, all the chaos we had. I mean, there was kids that were getting suspended in school because they were standing up, pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Meanwhile, there was kids bringing in weapons and drugs, and they were allowed. What this world was so upside down with this previous administration.
Anybody that give you a donation for the homeless? A lot of shirts.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Anybody look at this shirt?
$20 because he had to send it in the mail. They cost more money than stupid mail. You have a lot of shirts here. Look, this one is cool.
Oh, let me see that. Oh, that's cool too.
Whatever give you $20 for the homeless.
Oh, that
you
looks
get it.
cool.
And also I have a beach towel.
Oh, that's cool.
I got a lot of stuff for Trump showing people and get the money for the homeless. He covered the mail and the homeless.
Any Democrat want this shirt? Huh? Look at that. Cleaning up 4 years of crap. 4 years of crap. Tell you what. We help out the homeless on this station each and every day. For those who are new or first time here, like and subscribe, check out the shorts. If we get a $25 donation, 100% of proceeds will go to the homeless, and we will send this shirt in the mail. I'll drop my email, and we'll get it out in the mail tomorrow. This is pretty cool. This is great. 4 years of crap. What we got here? What we got over here? What's this one? Kind of like this one too, huh? You got it, Bama. You got it. You like the towel? You got it. In the mail tomorrow. And you're on my Facebook, so it's easy with you. Just go to my messenger, and then and put in your. I tell you what, you can even go to my messenger and put your email. Play it safe, your email, and I'll and then on your email, I'll put in your address, and we'll get this towel out. What is tomorrow? Monday? Yeah, mail's open tomorrow. I'll get this out. It's yours. I'm a man of my word. Put that towel there. Mindspeak, thank you. Love this country. And there's laws legit for us. But I will never support anyone who goes against our laws. And that's why I'm not a Democrat or Republican. There's a lot of people like yourself. I have a very good friend of mine, Mindspeak, who said those exact words to me on Christmas. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, is this a woman? Oh no, this is pretty cool. See, I think, for me, my opinion, you know, as far as Trump goes, he has the R there. But, you know, he's probably the closest. I mean, he really, you know, he was a Democrat, Republican. He really is, you know, he calls his own, he'll call anybody out. And people will say, well, he's for the billionaires. And I say this, if he was for the billionaires, he basically told Elon Musk, see ya, appreciate your support, goodbye. You know, You know, I think he's the closest independent president we're going to get. You know, of course, he leans, you know, to the conservative side a little bit. But, you know, think about this. During the pandemic, you know, how the Democrats like to give, he was giving out money. And remember this, if you're new to the channel, during that pandemic, Nancy Pelosi wanted to give much lower stimulus. It closed down the nation. You had no choice. And Nancy Pelosi went very, very low. You want to close the nation down? Well, we got to help out our America, how people are going to pay their mortgage and rent and put food on their table. You know, Trump did that. And Trump is known, I mean, he's already mentioned the word promise that will give a $2,000 tariff rebate to some taxpayer money. And I still think there's a great, not a good possibility, I think there's a great possibility that some Americans under a certain amount in 26 will be receiving that money, because he used that word promise. If we're going to make money, we've been ripped off for the last 30, 40, 50 years from other countries. How about we give back some of that money to the American people? But he's been known to give out money. No, I think Trump is, you know, I mean, he's just for all the Americans. He's for most of us. Trump is the faces. Donald Trump is God. No, he's not God. But he's pretty close. Some people are saying that Trump was a felon in the chat. It's amazing on how many times I see that Trump is a felon. 34 counts. Again, all lies, propaganda, more lies. How about crooked Hillary? Who's the real? How about Dr. Fauci? How about Nancy Pelosi, who pulled out, her and Bill Gates, who pulled out right before, 2 weeks prior to the pandemic and shutting down the nation? They took out their money in the stock market. What has Donald Trump done? There's nothing. Not one thing that the Democrats throw at Donald Trump is all lies. 100% are lies. Not even that much is true. Not even that much. He's done nothing more to help out the struggling American people and to keep our borders closed and ending wars and taking out Iran nukes. By the way, we forgot about that. Went there very quick in the middle of the night to save us. They were very close to finalizing their nuclear weapons in Iran. And what did Trump do? Destroyed them. And what did the Democrats say? Show proof. There's not enough proof. He's done that too. Excellent economy. Economy's doing well. Money is starting to be exchanged again. I mean, it's not perfect yet. And even Donald Trump has admitted we have to do more. He's acknowledged that. We have to do more with price of groceries and continue to, but again, guys, hasn't even been a full year. And look where we're at now than we were a year and a half ago. Someone said the economy's in the toilet. You agree with that comment? The economy's in the toilet? Australia's in the house. God bless Australia. How you doing, James? Beautiful Australia. A couple yeses. The economy's in the toilet. Because of Biden, it's in the like that shirt said, cleaning up 4 years of crap. What a damn shame, huh? He's pretty much cleaned a lot of it up. Almost 85% of it. Make that comment here. You know, speaking of Joe Biden, he was at the Philadelphia Eagles game. He's from that area, Scranton. He supports the Eagles game. Okay. He didn't even know where the hell he was. They were booing him at the game. He didn't even know who the hell was winning the game. Wish him well, though, with his health. That I do. A president on the State of a Union, once again, for those who are new, was worried about potato chips being short in a bag. He was a man running our nation. Anybody remember that? A lot of people have a short memory. Worrying about potato chips. Then we had people coming over here and then starting wars, and he's worried about potato chips. God. All I have to say is thank God that Trump is alive. You know, you hear this so many times from the news outlets and YouTube channels and, you know, your favorites out there. But, you know, a little bit more, he's either brain dead or not with us anymore. So thank God, God saved us. Saved Donald Trump's life. And whew, I don't know where we would be at right now. Don't know. Don't know where we'd be at right now if that didn't happen. Got to keep Trump safe. All right, guys, I'm going to head off in a few minutes. Thank you so much. Bama, go ahead and send me your address, so I'll contact you. We'll get that towel out to you tomorrow morning. Get this out tomorrow morning. Appreciate all those MindSpeak and everybody helped sponsor in today's live. Thank you so much. For those who are new, check out, when you have time, our short videos. If you enjoy seeing Americans helping out struggling Americans on the street and helping out the homeless people here in the Las Vegas metropolitan area, that's what we do on here. Each and every day, struggling Americans. I don't ask them their policy, if they're Democrats, Republicans, or independents, or gay, or straight, or black, or Hispanic. I don't even ask them if they're illegal. Even though you have to come here the right way and fly here, not cheat the system. We help out struggling people here in Las Vegas. So I thank you all for checking out the short videos. I appreciate it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you on the next live. Go Birds. God bless Donald Trump. Let's hope that this war comes very close to completing it. You heard Trump say a few minutes ago. Thank you for all those who subscribe. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. You heard Trump say let's hope and stay positive and end this war. It could be a few weeks. Hopefully Putin, Zelensky come together and wrap this 4 years of just, you got to remember how many people are losing their lives. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you all. Have a great Monday if I don't see you in between now, and I should be live again tomorrow. Have a great New Year's Eve. Enjoy your family and yourself. See you guys on the next live. Thank you so much. God bless.